to take control of your computer. And see, that's what the devil had to do. He knew, I got to get man to give me permission to sever man's connection between them and God. And that's what he did. He deceived Adam and Eve. Deceived Eve, and then of course Adam followed with Eve and fell for the lie too. But they submitted their wills and they disobeyed God, and when they did, wham, that connection was broken. It's like Satan hit that red box, disconnected them to God. And as soon as they got disconnected, they automatically got connected with Satan's spiritual computer. So from then on, up until Calvary, the whole human race was spiritually connected through this nature of sin and death, because that was Satan's scepter that he operated in that gave him control over humanity. Until Calvary, the human race was connected with the devil. I mean, all God's great men and women, Moses, Elijah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, King David, all the great men and women in the Old Testament were still spiritually dead. They were in a blood covenant with God. They had faith in God. They're all in heaven now. God worked awesome miracles through them. Read the Old Testament. Great manifestations of God's glory. But you've got to realize, spiritually speaking, nobody was born again yet. Nobody back then could say, I'm the redeemed. I'm a brand new creation in Christ. My spirit is brand new. I'm God's righteousness. No, not one person. Moses couldn't say that. They were still spiritually dead. That's the way they were. They were still separated from God. But because of the blood covenant, there were certain things God could do for them until Jesus died and arose from the dead. That's why Hebrews says that they were waiting for the promises. Because they had a lot of great things, but like Paul said, what they had back then, the glory back then was nothing compared to the glory we have in Christ in the new covenant. So for all those years, see, God was working. God had a plan. And you know, the way I think about this is God is thinking, okay, I done lost control of my family, of the human race. You know, they've been reconnected with the devil. Now, I got to come up with a plan on how I can do. Of course, I can't override man's will either. I got to come up with a plan where I can, first I got to come up with a way to sever this spiritual link between Satan and humanity. I got to break that first, and once I can get that broken, then I can reestablish a new spiritual link between me as God and the human race and get my family back. And then I can get done what we need to get done on this earth. And I'll have sons and daughters again. Before Calvary, nobody was a son or a daughter of God. The most they could be back then were servants of God and friends.